Hey everyone, before we jump in, a quick note. The very start of this recording got clipped, so we wanted to set the scene properly before you hear the conversation. This is a special follow-up episode with our good friend Andy Thomas from Hook Norton Brewery in the UK. If you caught episode 30, you'll remember we talked through the idea of brewing the same beer on opposite sides of the Atlantic, using the same recipe. Well, we did it. Andy brewed red Barchetta, a red ale, on cask at Hook Norton, and Azlan brewed the exact same recipe here at Main Street Brewing, where we're recording today. Same malt bill, same hops, same yeast. Completely different breweries. In this episode, we taste them side by side and dig into what changes, what stays the same, and how much of a beer's character comes from ingredients versus place. Alright, let's get into it. Here's Azlan.
Some beers from Main Street Brewing, and for the first time ever, joined in person, Darren Binnema, Neighborhood Brewing, Yellow Dog Penticton.
Pleasure to be here at the source.
Today we're bringing back someone who's become a real friend of the show, Andy Thomas. And if you caught his first appearance on episode 30, you'll remember the storied history at Hook Norton and the heritage behind their real ale brewing. So there's plans to develop a recipe that would work for both Main Street's cask program and Hookie's. And the brew is now done. Congrats, guys.
Great.
Andy recently brewed the exact same red ale recipe, red Barchetta, I brewed here at Main Street Brewery. Same malt, same hops, same yeast, but on a completely different system and a completely different brewing culture. So this episode is all about what happens when a recipe crosses borders and what stays the same and what changes. How much of a beer's character comes from the ingredients versus the place and the people and processes behind it. It's a look at connection, contrast, and something we love, the way beer carries stories from one brewery to another. So let's get into it, and we'll talk about why this beer evolved.
Oh, very good. I like it.
Nice. Very nice, as always.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are listening and can't see, Darren are joined as conjoined twins with we're sharing one set of headphones between the two of us, like it's grade school.
Yeah.
But yeah, this beer, to start off, it's really easy drinking, so we should just get into it. Who wants to go first, and how do we describe this?
I mean, I would say, do you guys want to go first while I crack open your one? Because I'm very lucky to have both.
Well, you're the one who actually has both.
I'm the one who's got the cask and also the cans. So yeah, if you guys want to go first while I crack this open.
Darren, you got the least skin in the game, so I feel like...
Well, I was really pleased that you guys were able to do this. It's like I did the least amount of work on this, but I got to drink the same rewards as everyone. So, and as we were setting up the headphones, like, we're better brewers than we are podcasters, so it was a lot more finagling. It was like the hardest thing to not drink it, because it was like sat down perfectly in front of me, this nice cold pint of this red ale, and I had a couple of sneaky sips, and it's very delicious. It's super drinkable. I know that's like an obvious thing to say when it's cask beer, but it's got this like malty sweetness, but then it just finishes so cleanly. Like, it's not malty in a way that's like lingering or anything like that. I don't know if that's like the water profile. Like, you guys would know better about it. Like, it just kind of finishes like this drying quality. I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, I feel like there's a term that like I didn't know as a descriptor for beer until brewing cask ales is moorish. And I'm like, I would say this is like fitting within that style. It's like higher ABV than some of the stuff you typically brew, right, Andy?
Yes. Yeah. So,
and do you think that gets in the way of drinkability?
I think it might do a little bit to the English palate. The moment we see ABVs going higher, we start to panic.
Right.
No, it's I mean, what did we say? 4.2. And it's a great beer. It's become a favourite here. You know, all of us have been drinking it. It sold out in the first week on cask.
Yeah, I mean, I was rushing to get it over to you so we could do this comparison.
I know, yeah. I know. I kept like refreshing the tracking to make sure I could see where we were. But I mean, I'm just literally got side by side now. I mean, but the colours
look almost the same,
pretty much identical.
That's so cool.
You know, it's amazing. I haven't tried this beer. They've been in my fridge staring at me, waiting until we did this podcast. So This is actually the first time I've tried your one as well, Azlan, and it's great. Honestly, there's not much between them. I mean, of course, you got the CO2 a bit more on your side because it's in the can than what it is in the cask for us. But I mean, they're tasting great. I mean, the only difference I can't remember what boil hops did you use, Aslan?
Boil hops. We've got. I think we use 682. Yeah.
682. Yeah.
Yeah, which is like a really high alpha.
Yeah.
Yakima HBC hop.
Nice.
I think ours is 17.4 alpha,
Oh, wow.
which is on the low end of that hops range. Like it gets as high as 21 for a T90.
Wow.
Yeah. And that is definitely, I think there's a lot to be said about having larger amounts of boiled polyphenol matter for your bittering that can definitely change the mouthfeel of your beer. So
yes.
I imagine your boil hops are probably much lower alpha and you're using a higher volume.
Yeah, I mean, I used Challenger in this, as I said in I think the last podcast. Yeah. I love using it where I can. So I would say on the bitterness on both of them is pretty similar. I mean, I keep sitting here and trying both at the same time just to see what they're like.
You're double parked.
No, it's great. But the bitterness is pretty close, I have to say. I'd say on your one, you're probably getting a little bit more aroma off than ours, just off the nose. But honestly, the Cara Red, I was really happy with the Cara Red. Really enjoyed using that. It's got like a light caramel sort of just flavour into it. What I'm loving at the moment, and it's just nice to see red beers back out there.
Did you guys snack on that malt while you're making it?
Oh yeah,
I'm sure
that was a good snack. There's
it was great.
There's those bags when they come in that like everybody is like, oh, let's put aside a little bit to munch on. Simpson's Golden Oats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well,
all those snacking malt.
We had our Veerman guy come the other day, so I've got loads of little.
There you go.
I snacked through the day on. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, for people that are listening, it's like a really nice red color. Our cameras aren't really doing it justice. You got to get it yourself.
Yes.
And it's like this nice. It's pretty light red color. Red, like light for a beer, I'd say.
Yeah.
It turned out really nice.
And clarity on both is just, it's absolutely brilliant, which really helps. I think, if you have any sort of opacity in a red ale, it does not do well.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Turns to swamp water pretty quick.
Yeah, because I think we're in week 4 of this beer being in cask. And the clarity, I mean, like I say, the camera just does not do it justice, but I can just see straight through it. And it's been really well received beer. I've really enjoyed using Cara Red. It's going to be something I'm going to use a little bit more of. And I also really happy that the red rye come too heavily through. It's sitting in the background, getting a little bit of spice, but it's a little bit more sat back. I think it's letting that Cara Red shine a bit more. And the depth of the Marisotta. Sorry, carry on.
Hey, quick shout out to our friends at Hops Connect Canada. They've been hooking up brewers with quality hops for over a decade.
Yeah, started on a farm in Pemberton, and they got warehouses across BC, Ontario, and Quebec. Super reliable, and they actually get what brewers need.
They've got all the classics: Citra, Mosaic, Amarillo, Eldorado, Cascade. The list goes on, with lot selection starting at just 100 kilos.
But what we've really been digging lately is their liquid hop lineup. Total brew day game changers.
Yeah, stuff like Flex for bittering without the wort loss, Incognito for whirlpool flavor without the mess, and Spectrum for dry hopping with no hop creep.
I'm also a big fan of Hop 8 Anti-Foam. Less foam, higher tank fills. That's a win.
And if you're chasing that haze, Hop Haze keeps it locked in for up to 12 months. No flavor impact, just stable haze.
They've even got a brewing calculator on their site to show you just how much time and margin you can save. Super handy when you're dialing things in.
So yeah, if you're brewing in Canada, check out Hops Connect.
Solid people, solid hops. Hops Connect Canada, your partner in craft.
Especially like if you use it in a lower threshold, like we're 6.5% in the grist, you get like a nice kind of nutty character, but then a subtle acidity as well. Like it's not
Yeah.
you have to really be pushing 15% or more to get like a strong spice kind of
Right.
character.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
and rye can add such nice body to it, kind of similar to wheat, in
Yeah,
some ways.
and I think the Marisotta really helps with that depth in the beer as well.
Right.
That flavour. That's why we love using it here, and it's still our base malt. What we love using all the time.
That's actually probably one of the variations between this. So, I use the number 19 crisp air soldered, and you use the crisp finest, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Crispness.
Yeah.
Do you notice much of a difference between the two of those with the base malt being?
I would say I keep going between them.
Yeah.
I would say your
That's
guys.
one of the biggest differences.
Yeah, I'd say yours is probably a little bit lighter on the mouthfeel. Where I find with our Marisotta one, you're just getting a bit more depth into it. What I'm finding from it personally, and yeah, it's tasting. Like I say, it's tasting great. I'm loving it. I'm loving just sitting here and trying both at the same time.
I guess for people that didn't listen to like the last episode that are just jumping in, do you want to kind of go through the recipe,
Yeah.
what's in there, so that people,
Yeah, so we're jumping all over the place. Let's
people picked up the beer, what kind of is in there. It ended up being like pretty simple.
Yeah, so it's like 3 malts. We used 69% solder from crisp. We used 25% Terra Red, Barman. Sorry, these are some rounding errors. So as a result, it's 6.3% red rye Simpsons. So yeah, it's pretty simple. I think like it's nice to not muddy the waters too much when it comes to this, because like ultimately, especially with us brewing this in 2 different places and having this unique opportunity to trial them, have you tried them side by side? It's really nice to be like, okay, let's keep it simple, and like these are accessible grains that we're all stuff we could each get,
right.
Not using other products that maybe are local to us here in BC or you in the UK, and it shows in the color, the SRM there, and then I guess we both did about a 10 hec batch as well, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that made the scalability pretty similar as well. Hopping, there was the variation on the bittering with us using 682 and yourself using Challenger. Then mossed, and was it all moss? No, Harlequin. We did that light dry hop.
Harlequin in the dry hop, wasn't it? Yeah.
Mossed in like the Whirlpool or Knockout, and then Harlequin in the a small dry hop as well.
So
3 kilograms for 10 hex
for dry hop.
For dry hop.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I just changed my dosage because I think we were a little bit less than you guys, but they're again both shining through lovely. The moss, you're really getting that sort of, I find, like a stone fruit flavor to it, bit of citrus. What's just tasting, it just rounds it off. I'm loving it. Even like a bit of strawberry sort of flavor into it I'm getting.
Red ale, red berries. It sounds like something you want together.
Yeah. Yeah. I think all we were missing is the Bramling Cross, really.
Yeah, totally.
You got yourself some jam there pretty quick. Yeah.
It's funny when you say that, because I've been using mossed in that way a lot of times in my recipes. Is I'm kind of like, oh, this is just a juiced up version of Bramling Cross.
Completely agree.
It's slightly higher alpha, at like the 10% kind of range, depending, 8 to 10%. But it's just kind of like a more impactful Bramling Cross.
How have
so
you
be a good thing depending on the application?
Yeah. How have you guys thought about how's it been using these? Well, not the moss as much, but like the Harlequin is an English variety, and the flavourings you're getting off of it. It's just quite intriguing to hear what you guys think about it on your side.
Yeah.
Vicariously through Azlan when it comes to using these hops. He's way more adventurous in trying some of them, and honestly, like we in our portfolio don't do a lot of like, but hopefully soon we'll start to do a bit more of these like more English style like maltier beers. But so like I'm not using a lot of them. And at the outset, we kind of said like, okay, I had joked about like some of the flavor characteristics, pineapple, papaya, or whatever, being on some of them. Like, okay, we'll see if we get it. And we said we added it into the beer. We'd be pleasantly surprised if we were getting those. Like they would still fit. It would be outliers, but I'm happy with like everything integrates well in this beer. Like you're not getting anything. You're like, oh, it's a nice red ale, but why is there like this like tropical note or something like that? Like I don't really get that. I think what you're getting at is like lots of jam, lots of berry flavors in there. There is like maybe more like less of a herbal thing that maybe you'd get in some of like the old school EKG kind of hops, like that I would normally think of as being in these hops that I'm not getting. I'm not getting like a lot of that like earthy.
Yeah, that earthy terroir, kind of the like almost like tea-like bitterness.
Yeah. So it's in a way like I find that it's like almost cleaner. Like, that's my Canadian American palate when I think of like, like I'm like, okay, like a lot of times like earthy kind of herbal stuff is like a no in a lot of the hops that I'm normally like selecting or rubbing and stuff like that. So in my brain, like it's kind of just that's where it sits.
Yeah, I find of course with Harlequin, Jester, Olicana, those are the three I kind of have the most experience with in the newer wave of, I guess, English aroma hops. And I find they do have an underlying fruit character to them, but there is definitely that, like, there is an English terroir, like an earthy kind of character that I don't know if there isn't the malt bill there to back it up, it doesn't sit right on the beer. So I could see like if I'm dry hopping at like, we'll do for a 20 hec batch, we're doing about 20 to 25 kilograms of T90 for like a hazy IPA. If I'm doing that with these hops, it's not gonna be a great end result. That earthy character is gonna be too much at the forefront. But using it in a way, and this is what I really like about Most, because Most is kind of, it seems like it's a bit of an experiment to try and like move away from that classic English terroir, is like because it's grown in the Czech Republic but is an English variety. I don't get as much of that that herbal kind of character, or earthy kind of note. And I've used it in Whirlpool for a couple hazy IPAs now, and it's been pretty great.
You've kind of pushed the limit of like usage where normally you would not. You're adding it in like more North American style beers.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like something with a little less malt character.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too is like here in North America, we get so stuck in like using the same three hops in different applications. Essentially, we were just talking about how there's like, is it a good thing that there's a continuity within our seasonal hazy IPAs, or is it like something that we should maybe just try and experiment a bit more with? And having characters like Harlequin and Olicana especially, I really like. Olicana's got a really nice kind of like mango passion fruit kind of character that's a little bit deeper. Using it as like an accessory hop to like, maybe if you're leaning high on that like classic North American interpretation of that, with using like the right lot of like Mosaic or like Citra, and then you're using Olicana, which I think even might be offered in a T45 as well.
It is, yes. Yeah, it is.
Then that kind of, the Olicana T45 I've used before, drives down that earthy note, but like brings a deeper tone to those flavors.
Yeah.
I
character
coming in.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think these hops are great being used with something else. I think they really complement well. We did a beer a little while ago with Idaho 7 and we used Emperor to back it up. What's an English variety? It They just worked really well, and we use Olicana quite a lot over here. But you are right with the dry hopping. You have to up it a little bit more. I think, our off the hook, what's our IPA? We use Amarillo in the dry hop. And we're only doing about 2.5 grams a litre. But where we use Olicana in one of our other beers, we use about 5.5 grams a litre. And you're still pushing to get that aroma through. But it does work. But I think you are right. They are great for complementing other hops and giving you that depth into a beer. I do completely agree with that.
I think it's just nice to like challenge other brewers who are doing this. It's like, just like add 10% of like a different hop into your hop mix. Citra, mosaics.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe don't make that 10% Dulcita, because then it'll just overpower everything.
That seems to be like everything new.
Bro.
Everything new that I try is this Dulcita. Oh, this is like very cool. Like
Doesn't play well with others.
Everything. Coconut right now.
But,
I would say though, with your beer, Azlan, compared to ours, I would say the Harlequin is definitely coming through. I would say more with yours than it is ours. I would say, because you're getting the real like that tropical fruit coming off really nicely off your beer, where ours is there, but it's not quite got the where yours is. When I'm sitting here now, just smelling them, the moment I opened that can, it really came through.
I wonder if part of that is carbonation too. Like, yes. I find that's the carbonation and is the ingredient when people are like, oh yeah, beer, it's malt water. You're like, oh, but carbonation plays such a big role in how your palate will interpret it.
I have that with like if you do a new beer of anything, it's in the fermenter, and of course you're gonna like try it a few times, like, how's this tasting? You're like, oh, it's just not really like coming together, and then like, you just gotta know, like, have the patience to like, again, don't mess with it, like let it go through all the way to the end, then taste it when it's done, and then make changes to the next batch, because it's always like, maybe we should dry hop it more. It's like, no, just let it be. The carbonation will bring it out. Like, you got to trust the process, because warm again, flat sample out of the fermenter, you're like, this is not really there yet.
And again, I think I said it in the last podcast, is when we first wrapped our beer and then put it straight on the stillage, the aroma wasn't quite there, and I was like, let's give it a couple of weeks, let's really let it condition. And it was like night and day with these two beers. The aroma coming out after 2 weeks was so much more. And again, I think I spoke a little bit on the bitterness. I mean, this is not solid information, I think it's just me personally. I always do find you do get that little bit more bitterness come through as the cask age after a couple of weeks. Like I say, that could be me being me, but I do find with the carbonation, the secondary fermentation, I do find you sometimes get a little bit more bitterness come through the process in the cask. Not sure what you think, Azlan, on that with your cask racking as well.
Well, we found, I think it was about 2 years ago, we stopped adding priming yeast. And like North American cask is like way, I guess, behind in a lot of ways. We don't do it all the time. So like we're doing a lot of processes that are like, okay, this has to work, so I'm gonna like re-yeast, I'm gonna re-sugar, I'm gonna like do all this because I like, it's caution. We found as soon as we started taking cell counts at our transfer, and then therefore being more confident in our pitch rate when we had re-sugar, that kind of like, I guess, stressed secondary fermentation that's happening in the conditioning of the cask is providing so much more flavor and body. Right. When we were using CPC1, it's great. It drops out quick. We were getting like, I think, 3 to 5 days for conditioning time before our beers
Right.
were like good. But the flavor development and the, maybe it's like glycerol production as well. Because that's something I definitely noticed with your yeast
Mm.
that we use here. It's like there's a good amount of glycerol produced within that, so it like creates body in its own way. So yeah, the conditioning, having an intentionally kind of struggled secondary conditioning and leaving it a couple more days is like night and day difference in like how that beer, and especially it's the fruity characters. It's like when people talk about English ale and it being like good and clean, it's like, no man, so much of the like nice flavors of a good cask ale is a stressed yeast fermentation.
Yeah.
Those little ester coming in, those aldehydes and like small bits, but not like a big off flavor, just like little bits, right? Of all
Yeah. And I think you find that with our yeast as well is, you do get a lot of fruity aromas, we like to say, come off of it. By our yeast personally. We've just literally propagated this week again. So we've got nice fresh new yeast again. But yeah, I do find, especially with our yeast, you do get a lot of aroma, those dark fruit raisiny sort of aromas off that yeast. What's great. I love that.
Yeah. I think like part of our discussion or intent on like developing this recipe was kind of like using English ingredients, but then hopping it in a bit more of a North American style. Do you find the hop aroma on this beer to be like outside of what you would say would be a typical red ale, or is this?
I would say, like I say, we spoke before, we do a beer called Red Rye where we use Amarillo in it. Yeah, I would say you're definitely getting a bit more. We're getting the aroma off of it. What's great. We are playing around with our dosage rates at the moment and seeing what we can do. And, I think I said in the last podcast, I don't like to go much more than over 5.5 grams a litre dry hop. Just because you get little ticking time bombs otherwise. And and actually this beer in the cask, it's really, I think I sent you guys some videos, you flip the top on it and it just you just hear the hiss, and
it's a bit more lively.
I tapped this the other day and literally went to get a pint of it and it nearly shot the glass out of my hand. No, it's great. I love it. It's so yeah, I'd say it's a new territory for us, but we're enjoying it. And you know what we are like here. We love our tradition and everything, but we are loving playing around with things and going back from. Sorry,
I was gonna say that might be like a neat comparison. Is like, so your dry hop. At what point do you dry hop, and are you taking more readings after to allow for?
Yes. So basically, we will skim off, say, day 3, day 4, depending on fermentation, and then we will dry hop on the same day, and then we will leave it for about 2 to 3 days, and then we cold crash. So we found that works just to mop up any of that VDK, mop all that up, and then also we just find we just keep an eye on the beer basically, and we have found with Harlequin that the hop creep on it is quite insane. We've noticed that quite heavily. It seems to really, with the beers we've used it in, you might go down a couple of present present gravity, down a couple of points, but we do find with Harlequin it does really drop that hop creep down even further. So we do try and keep an eye on it a lot more, and then of course get the cooling on as nice and quick if we need to stop it. But we're quite lucky here. Touch wood. We VDK. We could start cooling in a day, but we learned this from Mitch Steele, brewer from New Realm. He said, "Well, why don't you give it a few more days, see how it runs?" And so we've kind of implemented that in, and we find that really helps, mop up that VDK in our beer personally.
Like LDC.
No, we don't use LDC or anything like that really. The maddest thing we probably use is what they call refoam, just so stop the what's really random. Yeah. So just so we can fit a bit more in the copper, basically, get a bit more out of it.
Yeah, I think we noticed after dry hop, it went down as low as from 3.5 down to 2.4.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was over the course of 7 days after.
Right.
So we kind of we're holding it to wait for a stable gravity.
Wow.
Our limit attenuation before dry hop was 3.1. So
Yeah.
Plato, yeah.
Yeah, Plato.
Plato, yeah.
I
So
wasn't
I'm just trying to
able
work that out.
to. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
That's
Our,
alright.
Our timing didn't work out to do it the same way you do. We were trying to do cell counts as we went, and maybe it's dimensions with our tank or whatnot. But it was we just crashed it to 2 degrees and find it after a certain point because we're like, we need to get this beer out.
Yeah,
looks
that's
like it got
normally the case with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's normally the case with us. We would love to just give it 3 days VDK, then sit the corn on and let it just do its thing. But no, at the end of the day, it's real life, and we're in a brewery what's trying to bring, you're emptying and filling tanks all the time. So that does change a little bit, but we do try and stick to it where we can.
I had the BC Beer Conference coming up, and Becca from Charles Farm was going to be out, so I wanted to make sure that the beer that
Nice.
her hops were in were going to be present, and Darren was going
Great.
down
Yeah,
as well.
it was
So
an opportunity for me to try it.
I was like, man, I need to get these beers out to the right people.
I was at the conference just giving people the beer.
Nice.
It didn't last very long there, that's for sure. People were
How did it receive?
I think pretty well. I was far, giving it to people and then moving on, but I thought it was great. And people that it's a bunch of brewers having it. So, and it is a brewer's beer, I would say.
Yeah, red ale is not a common thing. Although
Agreed.
Fast Fashion did release a red ale for their anniversary this year, which I was saying to Darren, I was like, we beat Fast Fashion on doing a red ale.
You ever feel like you've got everything dialed in except fermentation?
Oh yeah, if your yeast isn't consistent, the whole batch can go sideways.
That's why we've been checking out Yeast Canada Innovations. They're Canadian-owned, brewer-focused, and they get what you need. Reliable strains, solid flavor, and real support when things get weird.
And shipping is smooth. They've partnered with Hops Connect, so your yeast comes from the same warehouse, BC, Ontario, or Quebec, right with your hops.
Even better, if you ship together, your yeast ships for free.
And they're not charging premium prices either. The pricing is super approachable, which means more budget for the fun stuff, like more beer.
Here's the kicker. If you're listening to this podcast, you can get 5% off your first order at yeastcanada.com. Just hit up their team for the code.
Yeast Canada Innovations. Let's elevate your craft.
Yeah.
I honestly do believe it is kind of coming back, because we've just done a beer with a brewery called Arbor Brewery in Bristol, and we kind of went with that. It's a bit lighter than this, but you still got that red tint to it, and it's flying out again. They're actually brewing it again because it didn't even get out to sale. It was all sold up before they even promoted it. So we're doing
That's
another
good.
one of those. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, love it. But like I keep saying, bring back red ales are the best.
My question was for you, Andy, is does this beer, would this just fit in really well with what you're doing in your portfolio? Or would you have to explain to people oh, this is a North American thing, this recipe? To me, this is traditional, pretty traditional. But I don't know if that to you, you're oh, this one really stands out against all the other beers that you do normally.
No, I mean, I think it actually fits in quite nicely. I think it's honestly got a bit of that trad sort of look to it because, our old hooky is that sort of reddish red, sort of reddish color to it from the crystal malts. So you're getting that ruby red sort of look to it anyway. So I think it's actually, honestly, it's fitted in really nicely with our portfolio. I wouldn't say it doesn't look like it's like well out of proportion compared to all the other beers we do. I think it's sat in really nicely. It's been really well received. We did it at our open tap, what's basically just a night where the locals can come down and try some free beer and everything like that. And it got really well received there. The brewers here have all been drinking it non-stop. What's great. So yeah, I would say it's fitted in really nicely. I wouldn't say it's not over the top, if that makes sense. With the aromas and all that. It's
not
really
bludgeoning you
just
over the head with like a
No.
North American sense of
Yeah. Like, I don't think so, but then I also don't like brew at a UK brewery. So that's kind of like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah.
No, it works. I think it's worked really well. I think we haven't had to be going, oh yeah, we've had to do this beer and it's kind of all this, and people have just really well received it, and it's gone really well. Truthfully, I'd like to try and fit another brew of it in just around Christmas time. I think it will sit really nicely around Christmas time for us.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try and get.
You're making me think. I'm like, oh yeah, it does kind of have like a bit of like a fruitcake kind of,
Yeah.
the berry note,
Yeah.
the malts,
Right? Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Maybe we've just
it's a
hit something
festive
there,
beer.
making a Christmas beer now. Yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've really enjoyed it. It's been a really fun thing for us to do. We've had great fun doing it. It's been great working with you guys on this. Long may it continue, and maybe do another one at some sort of time as well.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's been super fun.
Of course. If this recipe would like continue to change, if brewers were to like make it elsewhere, do you think the core of the product would stay the same, or do you think like how much of like the flavors between the two beers like differentiate based on the brewery?
Yeah. I mean, looking at the colours a little bit more now, yours is definitely just a little bit lighter. It's really hard to show you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can see it.
Oh, yeah.
Ours on the
Absolutely.
right and yours on the left. You can just see there's a bit of difference in colour there.
Yeah.
What might be down to maybe, I don't know. I don't think it would
More-
be the Marisotta, truthfully.
Do you
but-
guys have like your
direct fire,
10
right?
hex system is direct fire?
Yes, steam
Yeah,
coil.
so that could be a big part of it.
Yeah,
Versus like ours being steam jacketed,
yeah,
having
and
that
of course
caramelization.
because we're using refoam in it. We really ramp that boil up, so it really goes
It's
for
going.
it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're probably right there. It's probably just you're getting that boil over a little bit, but I'd say they're pretty similar. Like I said to you, I'd say yours is a lot lighter on the mouth than what ours is. I should have grabbed brew sheet. It's probably around here somewhere. It might be here actually. I'll quickly have a look through while I'm talking rubbish.
Both in the brewery office. I love it.
Yeah, I know. I thought I'd drive in and quickly have have a couple of beers, and then because it's 8:45 here, so it's weird being here at night. You hear all these creaky noises around the brewery.
Does that noise make that noise? And I just never hear it.
Yeah, it just make you like your ears prick up a little bit when you hear these odd noises around the place. But on the two beers, I'd say they're we're not far away. There's definitely a difference in the two. You can definitely taste the difference in the two. I'd say we've definitely got a bit more body on our side compared to your side, but flavor wise, they're pretty similar. Again, I'd say on our side, you're probably getting a bit more of the the jammy flavor, as we were saying earlier. That where I find your guys hits more the tropical side with the Harlequin a little bit more than ours. So
it's like maybe the caramelization that you're getting in the boil is contributing to those like jammier kind of berry notes
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Could be.
And then like you were saying, our dry hopping rate was slightly higher, so
Yeah.
it could be variations on that.
Definitely.
These are those things that I like really love, is like, and this is why I think we should have more transparency within our scene, is like, and we already do have great transparency within our scene compared to like many other industries, but you know, there's having trade secrets only goes so far. When I'm like, I feel like I could give you my whole brew sheet and you won't be able to do the same thing. Like
100%, yeah.
our tank geometry, our, you know, all of our
Everything
little
goes into it.
Yeah,
Everything
that's-
and all
goes
those
into
things
it,
that I
isn't
don't
it?
even know that I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And it's amazing those, you know, we could time all this perfectly and do everything at the same time, but there's always going to be some human difference in the two of how we do it, you know, and I think that's a big thing with it. So going off your question, and you know what brewers are like as well. If we gave this to another brewery, you know what they'd probably go, oh, we might add a little bit of this, and you know,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah, they
this
want to
will
make
help.
everybody wants to make it their own.
Yeah.
Of course they
100%.
do.
No.
Of course
Yeah.
they do. But yeah, I think that one of the main characters here is what would be really interesting. Also, is if you brewed this again with a different yeast. I think it
Totally.
would be. I think
Yeah.
it would be monumentally different. I think our
Yeah,
yeast
hugely.
is a big thing in this sort of type of beer, and I think this sort of beer works really well with our yeast. I think it really helps those flavors of the, like we keep saying, those jammy, resinous flavors. What comes off of it? I that's me personally. I think it's really come through those red fruits. I think
Yeah.
really flavors with the yeast. Truthfully,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See what you-
I think too. I got to have the beer at the conference that was like 3 weeks ago, I think now, and I had to drink it out of the can because they were only giving cans or tins, as you would say, I think. And so then I didn't really have I wanted to pour it into like a glass because
Yeah.
that's part of I would say part of drinking this beer is like we had it here on cask engine, right?
Yeah.
And like that smooths everything out too.
Mm.
Whereas like the can, it's like not the same. You need to pour it into a glass, like let the foam kind of like give it structure too.
Yeah.
Which is that different. Maybe it was still like
Well, we also can
cellaring.
a lot of these beers, and we find like when we do go to pour them, the best thing is just like, because we package them at like 2.1 volume, still lower CO2 for what you typically put in a can, but just like pouring aggressively into a glass and like kind of pushing that aroma up and breaking that way. Hopefully the 2.1 that's in the can, by the time it's poured aggressively into the glass and it's like off gassed a bit, is maybe a little bit closer to that like 1.9 target.
Yeah. But it's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the same when you're in a way when you're over here with the cask beer. You know, it's the whole point is to really, you know, pull that, you know, that handle down to really get, and that really pushes the aroma through. You know, we won't go into who uses sparklers and who doesn't, because that's just a whole other argument. And
Over. Anyways,
yeah. I mean, I'm pro non-sparkler, but you know, if we went a little bit more north, they'd all have them in their pockets. So it's all that comes into it, like you say. But it, you know, I'm personally real nice big pull. It really helps with that aroma come through on the nose.
Yeah, sweet.
But yeah, I've really enjoyed doing this beer. It's become a firm favourite of mine. And then I've got the other boys gonna try it tomorrow. I've been hiding the cans back because I wanted to make sure we actually had some to fill the podcast. So
Thank you. But also important that you guys do some R&D and let us know. It's all for product knowledge, you know. It's
we
how
will.
rationalize
Yeah.
every beer.
Yeah. It's all
too
R&D, yeah.
I'll what I'll do is I'll get them just to make notes on it and just
that'd be great.
and then send them just across to you, just so you guys can see what everybody.
It's a great learning experience for us all. Yeah.
And I really appreciate you guys sending them all the way over here. It was so nice seeing them turn up the other day, and none of them are broken. What was the best thing out of the lot?
Good. Good.
Looks amazing. But I've really enjoyed it, and it's been a really great learning curve for me as well. And it's been really, really fun. I've really enjoyed doing this little collab with you guys, and hopefully it gives me an excuse to get back over there at some point.
Yeah. The next one we can all brew together in person.
Yeah.
I think so. I think we can work something out. I'll speak to the boss and see what we can do.
Yeah, I mean, World Cup is here next year, so.
That's right.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Is Canada in it?
I don't know. Sorry.
Maybe?
That's fine. Yeah. Well, don't worry. We're not going to do any good this year either. Well, next year, so I won't worry about it. But that might be my excuse. But
well, thanks so much for doing this with us. And if people want to hear more about the beer that we made, they go to episode 30. Remember?
Episode 30.
Episode 30. We talked to Andy for a bit more about his brewery, Hook Norton, and then we kind of in that episode we kind of hashed out this recipe that now we're kind of coming back and drinking. So it's been fun to see everything. We do this as brewers every now and then, but it's fun to do this in the open and podcast, and we don't usually get to do it with someone all the way across the pond. So thanks for doing that with us, Andy. If people want to support you guys, they can find your beer in Hook Norton in Oxfordshire, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
They can
go
find your beer there.
Yeah, we sell online. We do all that sort of stuff. You can go on our website. I think it's, just type Hook Norton Brewery into Google or whatever, you'll come up with it. As I said before, if anybody listens to this podcast and they're in the UK, please pop by, give me a shout, and we'd love to show you guys around. Hopefully get you guys over at some point as well.
Looks like a place not to be missed.
Yeah.
It's not too bad, I'm just looking at the mash tuns now and thinking, I could be back here in a few hours and start off again.
My good friend Tessa was posting stuff on her brewing Instagram, so if you want to go check it out, she's got some good there's videos of your brewery there, and it looks, I've seen it, I'm like, oh, this looks very picturesque. Like the area and stuff, and then the brewery itself was super unique and obviously very traditional. Stuff that's been around for a while.
Yeah, I mean, you can literally just see you can see them in there. You can just see the mash tuns just literally sat there ready to go for tomorrow morning.
We should let you go. You gotta work tomorrow.
Yes. But no, it's been really fun. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you for involving me in this. It's been a really fun experience, and love working with you guys. And love to do it again one day, and make another one.
Good. Cool. Well, thanks everyone for listening to this special edition of the podcast. If you want to support Azlan and I, you can buy our beer, Main Street Brewing beer. You can probably still buy this, but I guess it depends on when we release. Hopefully we'll release this early. You guys can get the red Barchetta red ale. It's got this beautiful red can with the Hook Norton logo, neighborhood logo, Why This Beer logo. We just stuffed it full of logos on there. It's very tasty. I can attest. Definitely go pick up that beer and try it, see what you think. You can try some unique English hops. And it tastes kind of like UK beer.
You
got a stamp of approval.
It really does. And the one thing I will just add is, isn't it quite weird that we were speaking about, calling it because I'm a big Rush fan, and next minute they come out of retirement and they're going to start touring again. So
there you go.
I think we've had a big impact into that. So.
You can't discount it.
Yeah. Just another reason for you to come back to Canada.
Yeah.
I know. I'll try and get some tickets somehow. I think they're sold out. I'll find them. Don't worry.
Sweet. Well, definitely pick up the beer, and if you want to pick up other beer, pick up Neighborhood Brewing beer, Main Street Brewing beer, and Yellow Dog Brewing beer, wherever you can get good beer in BC. Further episodes to come. But until next time, cheers.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Cheers. Thank you.
Go.
Did it.